Hello guys, so today I want to teach you how to texture this well in Blender. Actually this well I texture it in Substance Painter, but for this tutorial series I want to teach you how to do it in Blender and get maybe the same result or better. Actually I think you can get better result than this because this one's like so lame. Okay, so for this episode I'm going to teach you how to create the material first, and then I'm going to teach you how to store it in your Excel library, so that in the future you can use that material for texturing other assets as well lah. Okay, so this material, if you don't want to make it yourself and you want to support me, you can buy it in my Gumroad, from my Gumroad. I will sell it just like for like $5 like that lah. Okay, so go and buy. Okay, let's get to it. So create a new file, then go to shading. This one you can turn off the word opacity. Create a new mesh, sphere. Basically, usually I will create a sphere. Where's the sphere? UV sphere. Okay, shade smooth. Okay, add new material, and I will call it as a Bapa material. Bapa in Malay means father or dad or like a leader lah. So this material will lead you to your successfulness in your texturing career. Okay, so after you create this, what you want to do first is press Ctrl T. Ctrl Shift T. Make sure you turn on your Node Wrangler from your preferences first. Node Wrangler. Okay, turn this on, and then you press Ctrl Shift T and go to your texture library first. So just pick any texture that you want. So maybe you can add a concrete first, just for demonstration lah. So okay, add this material, and then what you want to do is save your Blender file. Okay, make sure you save your Blender file in your asset library file path lah. So my asset library file path is here. So I press Ctrl C and then Ctrl V, and I'll name it as a Bapak's material. Okay, then you select all of this and then press Ctrl G to make it as a group. Okay, so then you press tab to go out of this group. So you can name it as a base or base material, anything that you want to name. So for this layer, you have to understand that my method is that you will be texturing it like you texture it in Substance Painter. Okay, so there will be a layering system, a masking system, and all that lah. Okay, so this one is a fill layer. If in Substance Painter, we'll call it as a fill layer. So this is the first fill layer, your base material lah. Okay, so what you want to add into your group input is okay, so basically you cannot add this to your group input. So what you want to add is that, okay, your normal map should not be in here. So just Ctrl Z. Okay, don't select your normal map, just select this tree, this part. Ctrl G again. Okay, name it as base material. Okay, so for the setting we'll do it later, or maybe you can just do it directly and then we just copy paste. Okay, so this one is UV. So first you can go to the group output, press N, and then you go to the group. So the output for the first one is color, the second one is for roughness, and the third one is for normal. So you can add one more, put it after color and name it is metal. Or maybe if roughness is too long, just type rough lah. And this one you can just call it as norm. Okay, so okay, now you have four material slot. So for metal, the default will be black because not all stuff are metallic. Not all textures are metallic. Okay. So what do you want to control from this? So the first one that you want to control is the location of the texture, the rotation of it, and the scale of it. Okay. So now you get this one. Okay. Then the next part that you want to control is okay, you want to control the color for this base color. So shift A, color, hue and saturation. So you can drag your hue over here, saturation, and value, and even a factor if you want, so that you can control it easily. Yeah. So every time, let's say you add a material over here and you want to control the color, you can change the color just by going here, and saturation and value. Okay. Then usually after you put this, we'll add a mix RGB. So this one you can change whenever that you like lah. So let's say for usually I will use multiply, but let's say in a situation, in a texturing situation, you don't want to use multiply, you want to use as overlay, then you can change it later. So this one connect over here, and I will call it as a color control. Okay, so then you can control your color by using this lah. So, and this one is the factor. Okay, sorry, this one this shouldn't be color control. Maybe just a color, just color. And then the factor will be called as color control. Okay, so let's say you have changed this one, everything, and you don't like the result, then the easiest way to do it, just make the saturation 0, pull the make the color control 1, and you can change the color easily like this. Okay, so that's why I'm adding this option over here. So color control, okay, color control is done. And then what you want to add is before that, make sure that your color control, the default is 0 because not every time you want to use these features. Okay, so the next part is you want to add a color ramp. No, color ramp, not color ramp. Color ramp you can control from outside. So what you want to add is a mix RGB. Image texture. This if you want to add AO in your texture. So just textures, image texture. Okay, color, mix RGB, put here. So this will be AO. So this one also, the factor will be 0, and you can connect the factor to here. So this will be called as AO control. Okay, so if you want to use AO, then you turn it on by turning it on to 1. Okay, and then you can add your AO texture over here if you want. If you don't want, then just leave it 0 lah. Okay, so that is enough for color. Oh, before that, make sure you turn this to multiply, because usually AO is multiply lah. Okay, so now you have the option that you want for color. So the next thing that you want to control is your roughness. Okay, so let's say you don't want any variation in your roughness, so you can use these features. Okay, so this one will be flatten roughness. This color we call as flat roughness. Flatten roughness, or just flatten rough lah. Don't have to type so long. Flatten rough and rough control. Okay, rough control. So rough control is 0. So let's say you don't want this type of roughness. Okay, this one, if you see the roughness, it have some kind of variation, right? And if you don't want this type of roughness, you can flatten it out and change any roughness that you want. Okay, that is how you use it, how to use it. Okay, so last but not least is flatten normal. So mix RGB. That's why I didn't put this one inside, because later you can mix your normal map with other normal map by using this material this group node. Okay, so you put this normal into color 1, and then the color number 2, what you want to do is you go to input RGB input, and you go to vector normal map, and then you connect this, and I pick this color. Okay, this is the basic color map, the flat normal map for Blender. Alright, so vector will be 0, and connect your flatten normal map first. So this one will be flatten normal, flat normal. This will be flat rough lah. Don't have to type so long. Okay, and then this one will be normal control, norm control, flatten norm. Okay, so your material is complete. Now you can add anything with this, and just change this option lah. And if you want to add anything else, it's up to you. But this one is just the basic stuff that you need in texturing. If you add any image texture and you want to change the color, or you want to change the roughness and all that, you can just do all that by just tweaking it out here. You don't have to go one by one in the node. Okay, so usually I will add a color ramp to the roughness node, because I like to control the roughness by using this color ramp. As you can see, maybe you want to make it like this, or you want to make the white a bit lower, then you can control like this. Okay, so just make it as default value, and usually this one you will mute it, because not every time that you want to use this feature, right? So just mute it first. Alright. So for metal, so let's say you have a metallic texture, what you want to how to edit, right? So you just shift D. Oh no, too many nodes, we cannot add anything. Or maybe we just add at the bottom. Okay, so this one, if you want to add a metallic node, so color mix RGB, you connect this to metal, and the color mix RGB, and then this one will set to 0, and this color number 2 will be black. Okay, so this one you can connect, okay, vector to vector and all that. Okay, how I do this, I just press alternate, right click over here, then drag it here, then we connect automatically from here to vector. Okay. So vector, put it here, and color number 2 also you can put here lah. Okay. So if you want to use, say, this one, you can call this metal, put it up. This one will be metal control. So if you want to make your stuff metallic, then you can just put it white, if not just black. And let's say you want to use metallic texture, like this one, normal texture, roughness texture, right? And you want to use the metallic map. So what you can do, you can turn on the metal control, and if you turn on this into 1, if you make this one, then this one will be ignored. So maybe we can name it as ignored metal, or maybe use metal map, or maybe metal map. just put it metal map. So this one will be use metal, this metal, and then if you need to use your metal map, then just turn it on. Okay, so let's see metal. This one we have metallic value, and if you don't want to use this metallic value, just turn it on. Yeah, that's cool. Okay, so this one you can remove the textures and name it as metal, or metallic. Alright, so now we have completed our first node. So for the second node, for the second part is we have to add a mix node. So what you want to do, Shift A, mix RGB, you connect over here. Wait, before that, Control Shift left click over here, color mix RGB, Shift D. Okay, if you want to make it quite neat, so just press G and hold Control. G, hold Control. G, hold Control. Then it will be rearranged according to the grid lah. So this one also you can do it. It is and add one more mix RGB for metal. Shift D, Y, hold Control, G, hold Control, G, hold Control, hold Control. Okay, so metal to metal. So now for the factor, you leave it as empty first. Okay, so before that, what we'll do is we'll group it Control G. Okay, then we will fix the arrangement. You need to rearrange it according to the arrangement of this part So if color one, this one is at the top, and this one should be at the second part So let's say this is as for default, this one is at the bottom. So you press this and move it up. Okay, same as this one, move it down, and you get the correct arrangement. Alright, so this one also, move it up. Okay, alright, so now we have this group. We call it as mix node. Okay, so usually mix node I'll put it here, then this one will be put at some other places, so that it's easier for me to control. So now what we want is the factor. So factor will be on the top, so everything will connect to here. So move the factor up. Alright, so this factor will control between first material and the second material. Okay, so the default value will be 0. Now we will have to rename our input and output So the first one is call, second one is norm, second metal, or MTL, anything that you want to call it, rough, RGH, and RM normal. The output also the same, call, metal, rough, norm. Okay, now we have one mix node, so we put it here. So this one is for the second one, so just connect everything accordingly, roughness to roughness, normal to normal. Okay, and then this one also connect accordingly, like this. So the factor should be 0 default value, right? Yeah, so you just put it 0 lah. Maybe input factor 0. Okay, so this one is 0 and everything is okay. So now we'll put this base material over here, and this one, press number 2 button, name it as a color variation. Okay, so you connect it to the correct slot. Okay, now where to connect this one? So now to connect this one, you will have to put this color number 2 over here like this. Okay, so then you can name it as this one, call 1, MTL1, rough 1, and normal 1. Then this one we call 2 MTL2, rough 2, and normal 2. Okay, this video is quite long, but yeah, this is the step that you need to do before you can make your life easier. Okay, so for the output is the same. No, output is just like that, but this one, the input you have to rename. Okay, so for the output, maybe you can name it call 1, MTN1, rough 1, and normal 1. Why 1? Because you want this to connect to the number 1 slot, so number 2 will be connected by the other material. Okay, so this one maybe you can put it here. Now we connect color to color, metal to metal, rough to rough, and normal to normal. Okay, so now you have this one will be your first layer, first mix node, and this is the second mix node. So the second mix node will be used for another textures. So usually for this texture I will be using usually after color variation I will add a grunge, imperfection lah. So imperfection node or imperfection texture, you can just use imperfect or maybe dirt lah. Just name it as dirt. It's easier. Okay, so color connect to color and everything lah. Repeat the same step. Color, metal, rough, normal. Alright, so now we have dirts, and then after this, then you just repeat the same stuff. It's the same step if you want to add any new texture, any new material. Okay, so now for the factor, how to control between this and this. So to control, what you need to do is you need to add a image texture. Usually I'll be using a grunge node, so just put it here. You press Ctrl T. Okay, and then rearrange it nicely. Okay, this one make sure you put it a bit far from mapping because easier to change the input. Okay, so now this one, okay, just leave this as default because usually when you are texturing it will be more complex. This one just for basic. Okay, so this one will be Shift A. So yeah, just leave it like that. And now it's time to group it or what you call it. It's time for us to make it cleaner. Okay, so to clean this up, because the step is done. Now this is what you have to do. Basically, this is all that you need to do. So what you want to do next is you select this layout frame. Okay, then you select everything beside the frame. Besides the frame, so this frame is put over here. I don't really know how to move it automatically in the frame, but yeah, this is how I do it. So then you can name it as materials. Right, so this is the material, this section. This is the mask section. So Shift A, layout. Okay, F2 to name, so mask. Okay, and this one will be the mix node. mix note. Okay, now just put it near to this part, then you can easily add more mix note until here. Okay, so I think that's it from me for this tutorial. Thank you. Bye bye.